Hey guys, welcome to the Techpoint Africa Podcast, and this is Emmanuel.
I'm Oluwanifemi. You confused me, man.
Why?
Yeah, I thought you wanted to say this is something like something is happening. Like,
I was expecting. Please, can you take that again?
Hey
I'm
guys.
a sucker for change.
Yeah, sucker for change. When did you turn to Sheldon Cooper? Yeah, please, come on. But it must not be every time. Hey guys, welcome to the Techpoint Africa Podcast. My name is Emmanuel.
it's like that.
That sounds like
You
a
should have
question.
given me a son.
Oh, sorry, Beleo.
Okay. And this is Bolo.
Proud people.
Okay, guys, welcome to the Techpoint Africa Podcast once again, and this is another interesting episode with a lot of interesting stories. And today we're looking at really important news from Kenya. Yeah, you must have remembered all the whole issues we've talked about in the past, but if you don't, of course, watch or listen on to continue. And of course, we're going to be talking about Lagos State. So, see, my eye is going to start shining for Lagos State. That's just the pure and honest truth, right? Then finally, we're going to be talking about Ghana and their plans to make billions or millions. Is it billions or millions? Billions from mining lithium. Watch to the end of this episode to know why that is important. Lithium and the billions, right? Good. So, and of course, this episode is sponsored by the Techpoint Africa business team, and we're going to be telling you about the Techpoint Africa FinTech Summit. Please, guys, remind me about the FinTech Summit because we can just start talking.
Don't worry,
course.
I got you.
All right. So, first of all, we're hearing from Kenya that Nigerian investors are suing the ARA for the money that was frozen on Flutterwave accounts in Safaricom, EcoBank, and UBA. Now, if you can remember a few weeks ago, no, not a few weeks ago, it was over 2 months ago, July 7th.
Still a few weeks.
Still a few weeks.
8
actually.
weeks.
It can even be this.
It can be this, So, remember that time there was this conversation about, hey, the ARA is selling Flutterwave and some other Nigerian companies that, hey, they are moving money suspiciously. Let's freeze your account first until we investigate. Which was pretty weird, right? What you would expect if money is moving suspiciously is, hey, company A, company B, what are you doing with this money? This money you are moving is suspicious. And naturally, we've also explained that for this kind of companies moving money across different borders, B2B cross-border payments in Africa, which is quite difficult. They're finding creative ways to move money, right? So, but this time around, we're seeing, and of course, they unfroze the accounts of two Nigerian companies. That was 2 weeks back, Remex Capital and some other guys, but we've not had news of Flutterwave yet. But of course, I think Flutterwave is pressing buttons. I mean, we saw Oga himself with the new president a few days ago, but let's move on. But that's this particular scenario now is quite strange. The Nigerian investors are saying, hey, this money that you guys froze, we use it to bet with one company in a betting company. Wait, yes,
Interesting.
yes. So we use the money to bet in the Nigerian investors that are not like institutional investors. They're not VCs. They're like regular Nigerians, but
Like 2,468 of them.
2004 exactly. So
Interesting.
yeah, 2,468.
That's actually quite interesting.
So the money was used to bet in these companies, and that was
It
part
is
of the money.
Flutterwave
Flutterwave is a company that's processing payments for that
them.
betting company. So
They're not saying
that
for
money,
freezing the account is affecting us.
the money cannot be forfeited though, alongside the money you are freezing with Flutterwave account. So we need you to release our money. Like, we are not saying you should not freeze Flutterwave account
Or investigate
them. We are saying separate our money, remove our own and give us. Then the rest of you can be dealing with yourself. And they're also saying the name of the company.
86 Football Technology.
The name was not memorable. I tried to memorize it. 86 Football Technology. Why will you see that kind of name and go and bet?
As long
One
as it's,
X bet. 9 bet 9 jar. It has to be short and catchy.
and is it that we tell them what they want to do with the name of their company?
Okay, whatever.
And tell them.
You can tell them.
Yes.
So you are trying to say 2,468 investors don't know what they are doing, Abi.
Everybody can be wrong.
Telling you.
Okay.
So 2,468 investors is small.
I know even institutional
can still
investors
be wrong.
No, so these investors are saying basically that these guys there's every evidence that these guys might be fraudulent. These guys are fraudulent. That is the betting company in question. So they need to recover their money. It can't be forfeited. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about this or say about this, especially considering how. So Kenyan government, for instance, have been
Maybe you
regulating
should
betting
mention
companies.
The fact that the money that these people are talking about is over $12 million.
How would you bet $12 million?
And that is a number of them. So
When I said I didn't believe it, that's why I was even skeptical about mentioning it. $12 million.
well, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. We are talking about football here. People bet their life savings on some matches that they feel will bring returns. So it's possible. It's possible. So you were saying Kenyan government as a thing against betting companies.
Not that they had a thing. Like they've been kind of strict with regulations of betting companies and more recently regulations of lending companies. Right, those two companies. And it kind of makes sense, right, when you think about how this set of companies operate. Betting companies, for me, are just a very, very, very thin line away from being criminals. For me.
Your moral. You are just talking about your own moral compass.
Come on.
No,
Well, I mean, you can't. That's not.
Yes, some people will
can't use
not
that
take
to-
that betting is wrong.
I'm
Your
up
own
for
moral
anything
standing
that
that is
anything that is legal.
So you
according
think
to the law.
investing in Bitcoin is not betting, Abi?
Which you did.
So Bitcoin is quite different, very, very different.
Oh, that is
Bitcoin,
you talking.
you can
I
look
like-
at it as a digital currency.
I look like that's an asset.
You can look at it as an asset. You can look at it as a commodity, right? So
But
you
you're
can,
looking
if
for
I'm,
when it is low for you to buy so that you can cash out
For
when it
instance,
is. Is that
for
not what
instance-
bettors do?
wait, first of all, if I'm buying dollar now, does it mean I'm betting?
Yes, you are betting on it that okay, you
Yeah,
buy it
actually.
when it is low so that you cash out when it's high. That is what bettors do. They are trying to put their money to wage or something so that with the hope that calculations or informed calculations that it will be higher in some few days or few weeks or few months.
As long as you are
That is-
speculating.
Exactly, you are a bettor rather.
Please, how much did you got the money again?
It's over $12 million.
Okay.
Well, I'm still with Emmanuel on the fact that that amount of money might we might not be getting the accurate figures.
So
It's probably
let's say roughly each investor lost about $5,000 roughly. That's what I was trying to calculate. So and the money has been frozen, right? So but for the investors themselves to be saying that there's something suspicious about the company, there's something fraudulent about the company, it's a betting company. And you're right to also include Bitcoin in this instance because companies are using Bitcoin terminologies to scam people. I had to prevent my dad a few weeks ago from investing in one because they were promising 80% return. No, 50% returns guaranteed every month. And I'm like, in this current bear market,
As in.
in this
never
bear
possible.
market, or what are you doing? Are you betting that Bitcoin is going down?
that's also possible.
But the
That's-
Bitcoin is not even going down steadily. It's going up or
It's
something.
going up. going
So
up,
which
yeah.
kind of company wants to be giving you 50% returns? Which is stuff like this that makes me say betting companies are just a thin line away from being full-blown criminals because what kind of promises are these? Then of course there are betting companies that will tell you to bet responsibly, give you guidelines, educate you properly. There are Bitcoin or cryptocurrency trading companies that educate you properly, right?
Yeah.
Those companies are there, but there are others that just they want to give you mad returns. They give you crazy sign-up bonuses, just anything to just keep you hooked and addicted, right? So anyway, let's just
So I think one angle we can look at this from again is the fact that if Flutterwave Flutterwave's accounts were not frozen, right? Eyes will not be on this 86 football technology company.
The name is still not on it.
Yeah, so eyes will not be on them. So I don't know if if situations like this can make Flutterwave lose favor with some of his clients, because you don't know when something will strike. So that is another thing. If situations like this persist, don't know what the effect it can have on the payments company.
Yeah. So a lot of talks about fintechs, right? And they are now intertwined in almost every part of your existence.
Business.
So now we're talking about betting companies, and we're talking about Flutterwave processing payment for that betting company. You're going to even be talking about a restaurant down the road, and you'll still be talking about a company like Paystack or Flutterwave processing payments for that restaurant. You'll be talking about a furniture worker delivering furniture.
Yes, and some startups now that focus on SME, like Instagram vendors or WhatsApp vendors.
Yes,
right. They have like a marketplace where those people put their stuff, but it's Paystack or Flutterwave or this other fintech that help them to process payments. So it's not something we would have imagined would happen in some 5 years back.
Yeah, not you won't imagine it. And
Yes.
a few days ago, over the weekend, I bought FIFA 22 from a gaming provider. This guy, I knew him like 2 years ago. He was using WhatsApp, and everything was manual. Oh,
I've sent you money.
I've sent you money. Or this is proof of payment and all of that. But now he has a website. Uploads all the games on Google Drive. Then Paystack checkout. So it's fintech is getting immersive. That's why we're going to be talking about all of this at the FinTech Summit 2022. So you've heard all the things we mentioned, and there are other things you probably don't know about. And different fintech companies will be showcasing all of this at the FinTech Summit 2022 on November 26th at 4 Points by Sheraton. It's hosted by Techpoint. Yes, and you know Techpoint events are always top notch. So don't miss out on this event. And we're going to be having a lot of interesting conversations and companies exhibiting very, very, very exciting products with different use cases. So like this, with all I have said so far, you should actually know that, yes, the fintech is in everything, which is the theme of the event. So see you November 26th. Head to fintech.techpoint.africa to grab your ticket right now. You can even pause this video and go and register. Then come back. Please come back. So yes, let's come back down from Kenya to Lagos,
Nigeria.
It was a very, very funny thing, right? And over the week we heard that Lagos wanted to start levying or making co-working spaces pay a certain amount. Should I give them the background, or do you want to
I would do that.
Okay.
So that point that I started it from, I don't know if I want to do that. I felt that part riled up the whole ecosystem.
That's why.
So the thing is, okay, let's say what they said they want to do, right? Okay. Lagos State has an agency that covers safety of life and property. Please, I think my space should show right now. Please, let me say what I want to say. Okay. And that agency, that commission was launched in 2011, right? That is Lagos State Safety Commission. They are saddled with the responsibility of making sure that public spaces, facilities, transport facility, any kind of thing that residents use in the state is safe for them. So they do everything within their power to make sure it is safe, which includes going for inspection in these places, training facility owners to make sure the place is safe for people. So earlier in the week, right, co-working spaces and tech hubs started getting notices that the Lagos State Safety Commission wants to come and inspect your facility, right? And in the process of inspecting it, you are going to incur a cost, which is $150,000. That is roughly 340 something. Did I say dollars?
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. It's 150,000 naira.
You've gone global. Don't worry.
It's $150,000, right? Which is an equivalent of 340 to thereabout dollars, right? Okay. So the breakdown of this amount is 50,000 naira goes to everything that we involved, that we include bringing safety auditors to come and inspect your facility to the equipment they will need to inspect and everything. Then the 100,000 naira is what you will pay to get your certificate that you've been certified for this year, that you're safe or your facility is safe for people to use.
So it means you have to do it the following year?
Yearly, yes. Something they have to keep inspecting and confirm that it's just like the VIO for...
And I'll keep paying them to come and inspect.
Yes, like the VIO for tech ops and
I'm hearing you
spaces.
out. I'm just nodding. I'm waiting for you to finish.
Right. So that is what they said they want to do.
Easy now.
You're listening to me, so that's what they want to do. Right. But the interesting thing is that after the news went out, right, and people started clamoring that you people have started decaying. No, after all the taxes we are paying, is this what you want to bring again? You just want to get money out of our pocket. So they responded, that is Lagos State Safety Commission responded that calm down. It's likely people did not get the memo. We are doing this for your own sake. We want people to be safe, right? But we hold on with the inspection. And normally the inspection is supposed to run between September and November this year, but they have suspended it. Right. And in the meantime, they want to train facility owners that this is why we are doing what you are doing. This is how you can keep your facilities safe and every other thing. Of course, when you hear suspended, they are going to resume it. It's not as if it is something that is going to go away like that. So, yes. Okay. What are you coming with?
Quick question before we move on to the main topic. Number one. Okay, 2 questions. Sorry. Number one, should I give them the background story, like the personal stuff that happened? Publish the story.
Yes, you can.
So the surprising thing is Lagos State government sent it to Techpoint Africa. We don't run a co-working space
or a tech hub.
We don't run a tech hub. So it was really, really strange to see
Techpoint Africa getting a notice.
Like how? So, but number 2, which is a more important question, this safety commission you just referred to, are they the ones in charge of ensuring the safety of construction sites?
Yes, they're also in charge of making sure construction sites are safe, the use of forklifts, the use of tractors, the use of trucks that carry, like the road construction that is happening on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. They're supposed to inspect the safety.
What about the fidelity of buildings to make sure they don't collapse?
Yes,
good.
There are also buildings, churches,
remind me, please.
Public spaces.
Remind me, please. When did we hear that a building collapsed?
Just recently.
No,
and
have you not recorded
sure it's not even the one you're thinking about.
It's not even the one I'm thinking about.
After the one.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. After the 7-story building that collapsed
in Ogheneruemu.
Yes, in Ogheneruemu. Another one actually collapsed in Motion. So we've actually seen, and when you even start comparing numbers, you actually have more building collapses in Lagos in a year than in Ghana in like almost 5 or 8 years.
So
imagine. So
which
what
brings
are they doing?
us to the question: tech hubs, which just carry one room in a standard building in central locations like Ikeja, Yaba, or on the island, versus building construction sites that are collapsing. What has this Lagos Safety Commission done to ensure that buildings don't collapse?
Ima, can you face the camera so that in case if the DG is listening to this podcast? No. I don't know why you're facing me. I don't work with LSC.
No.
Yeah, it's a valid question.
I agree with you, but I can't give you a response to that.
Is tech hubs or co-working spaces their problem in terms of safety when buildings are collapsing yearly in Lagos?
Okay. Let's address it like this, right? We are not saying tech hubs or buildings or churches. Last year, was it 2017? It was schools. In fact, schools were not given schools were not giving what's it called? They were not giving prior notice. They just said inspectors should just go to the school and find out whatever it is they are doing wrong. I mean, inspectors from LSC to go there. There was a time it was churches, right? Or just between 2010 and now, right? This is what they do normally, right? We can't remove the fact that tech hubs and co-working spaces are under their purview. But you raised a valid point that in the phases of building collapse, what should be their priority?
Priorities for me. But I mean, you go to some locations and you see some buildings literally sinking to the ground.
And one agent you carry you there.
An agent will see what I saw in April 2022. I prayed I will never experience it again. My house search. If you've been listening to this podcast, you've heard Nifemi rant. You've heard me rant about the house search. Even Bolu too. Yeah. If you need to see the kind of houses we went to, and I'm like, so there's a safety commission that's supposed to be looking at all these houses, but co-working spaces and tech hubs is their problem.
It is what it is.
Let's go and let's pay homage to the people paying our house rent. You know.
Hi, I'm Abisola Adenoga, the head of business at Techpoint Africa. Did you know that you could present yourself as a reputable brand leader? Did you know that your business can get the limelight it deserves? Now you do. Using Techpoint Africa's marketing tools, we can put you in the faces of a large audience for brand awareness and thought leadership. To do this, reach out to us by sending an email to business@techpoint.africa or click on the link in the description below.
Okay, guys, welcome back to Techpoint Africa Podcast. I was getting animated, so I had to divert the attention. Hope you enjoyed Bisola's and yeah, please help our market.
So we
can keep the lights on, right? So, but of course, on a serious note, it's a noble initiative, right? To make sure that these co-working spaces and tech hubs are safe, especially when, of course, it seems COVID-19 has not even left the air. Especially, but of course there are different safety measures that co-working spaces could take, but my concern was in the scale. You know, in economics they call things scale of preferences, right? So when you've attended to one, you attend to the other one, attend to the other one. So imagine if you've done, so I can't imagine a situation where they've done inspection and all the co-working spaces have paid that money and they've done their inspection. Then the building collapses the next day. That is not a co-working space. That is not a tech hub. A site undergoing construction.
It's on them.
It's still
as
going
far
to be
as I'm
on
concerned.
them. So there are many issues to be addressed in terms of doing business in Lagos. Also, because these co-working spaces and tech hubs, trust me, they're already paying other fees to the Lagos State government beyond the inspection and safety audit, right? So there are many things to be addressed before you start talking about, say, safety audit. So it's a noble initiative, right? Quite all right, but
it is what it is.
It is what it is. So, and when you even think about it, right? Buildings, building constructions, they're usually a function of, say, a land terrain. So a building collapse, land terrains are, let's say it's a swampy region, or there's a kind of mineral in that region that might not make water drinkable or something like that. So, but it's making me think about the whole natural resources thing in Africa, say in Nigeria, where in some cases there might be crude oil in your land, and
bitumen, gold.
So many things could happen. But I find it interesting that, say, Ghana is trying to introduce an initiative to generate billions of dollars.
Yep.
You said billions, right?
Yeah, billions.
Okay.
That's to be billions. All right. So, yes, Ghana could actually be on the verge of making $4.8 billion from lithium mining in the space of about 12 years. Yes. And so, what's the big deal about lithium? So, lithium is that it's a very critical part of EV batteries. That's electric vehicle batteries. So, and the demand for electric vehicles have risen since the whole economic meltdown, and then, like in developed countries.
So lithium Is it just electric vehicle batteries? Because
all batteries actually.
they're in phones.
batteries.
Yeah, they're in phone batteries. Yes,
Okay.
but the what made the demand for lithium rise was mainly because of electric vehicles, because gas prices have gone up in a lot of developed countries, and people are now thinking of the other way out. And EVs, electric vehicles, seemed to be like, what made sense to avoid paying all these exorbitant gas prices. Yeah, so that's the reason why Ghana could actually make this much money from lithium mining. And it's not just Ghana that that has lithium. Even Nigeria has lithium. But before we go to Nigeria's side, so yeah, a company called Atlantic Lithium actually has plans to start mining lithium in Ghana, and the estimations showed that Ghana could make almost $5 billion from lithium mining in about 12 years. And while that sounds really interesting, it sounds amazing.
It's money.
4.8 billion.
4.8
almost
billion.
Yes,
dollars.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And while it sounds really cool, I think this could just be something we've seen before repeating itself in Africa if we don't take necessary steps. Africa is known to have a lot of natural resources, things like that, but unfortunately we don't have anything to show for it.
Happen not to be the richest.
We don't have anything to show for it. So the issue now is, yes, we have lithium. Yes, you can come and mine, but more value could actually be created from this resource that we have, which means like we shouldn't just let these companies come, mine and go, and then they import the electric vehicles back to us, or the batteries they've created back to us, or whatever finished product they want to create, they give it back to us, and then it's like all the money they've given us, they're taking it back. So, well, Nigeria actually, let me choose my words carefully. Nigeria made me
say it. I'm vexed.
No, it's not.
Made you proud.
Yeah, they actually made me proud.
How?
All right, so Tesla actually approached Nigeria to start mining lithium as well in the country, but Nigeria rejected, and the reason is because they just don't want Tesla to come carry lithium and go. They actually wanted more value, and they told the electrical company, how can you probably start manufacturing batteries in the country, create more jobs in the country,
revenue
flow, increase economic activities with this thing you're trying to create. And one thing that I think is actually the most important is impacting this knowledge to the country, so we have more knowledgeable people that be able to
went to school to do engineering.
Exactly. People will start learning.
Find a way to put their expertise.
Yeah, but
if people start looking for bank work, people should go and mine.
Exactly. So that actually sounded really interesting. But for Ghana, Atlantic Lithium, they said they will be employing locals from the country
to mine, to be factory workers.
To mine.
Yes,
not
they said what the CEO said wasn't actually very clear. He said a part of their team, like a significant part of their team, will be made up of locals. Are they the miners? Are they
if you build the hierarchy, they're probably down here.
And that is the thing, right? So it's not entirely. Some publications said that company has gotten the license to start the mining. Some publications said they've not yet gotten the license, and they are waiting to get the license Q4 next year, and then they will start mining in 2024. I think Q4 2024. But I just want to be sure that, like, what is paining me is, like, I want Ghana to not just let these companies come, take lithium and go, because
that's like the modus operandi for African countries.
We've seen this before.
So
especially in Nigeria,
Europe, we come from
Democratic
the
Republic
US,
of Congo,
come from Asia and come and mine and just go. Whatever name the natural resource. Even Congo, is it cobalt that?
Yeah, cobalt. Cobalt too is actually really good.
It's a thing
for batteries too.
Exactly.
EV
So
batteries.
they will just come, mine and go.
And we actually have
Do you have like
countries.
a phone company? Do you have phone companies in Africa, in African countries?
None at
Yeah,
all.
we have like one or two.
Mara.
Mara, yeah.
Yes, Mara. It's Mara Samsung. It's Mara Nokia. It's Mara Transsion.
No, Apple.
Exactly.
Okay, so I feel you guys, I feel you, but I'm thinking, what's the incentive for these guys to actually come and establish a business here?
Is a very good question.
So we saw it with, I mean, with oil. That's what is happening with us with oil right now.
True. Vandalism and kidnapping of
Many
people on oil
security
rigs.
issues. They're concerned. We've not solved security, so even Nigerians can't even run businesses successfully
Nigeria.
in Nigeria. So people go to farms, and you hear cases of kidnapping, and Nigerians, not us foreigners, right? Of course, some of these cases might be exaggerated, but it's still a valid concern. Security, traveling between places, and when you are establishing an operation like that, that's a basic concern. Then the overall business environment in Nigeria, does it encourage any business person? Business is unstable. There's a very, very valid reason why most Nigerian startups are domiciled in Delaware in the US.
True.
Those who can't domicile in Delaware choose Mauritius or Seychelles,
Seems safer.
because there's a stability behind. But today they've crashed custom fees for, say, vehicle importation. Tomorrow they've increased it. Today they reduce it again. Why did you reduce it? They said
We wanted to buy Nigeria.
exactly those kind of very, very flimsy. Then when they increase it again, they come up with another excuse. There's no kind of economic policy stability in the environment. So yes, these companies should actually be setting up shop here in Nigeria, so that
Because
we don't
they
want to
will
have,
even save themselves this thing of transporting raw material
exactly
from
But
mining to
right from time they even started with cocoa. They came to harvest cocoa in Nigeria,
like
and
Ilelu
use it to make-
in Ondo State was like a massive cocoa generating community. But where now? Where is it?
Look at Cocoa House in Ibadan. What has become of Cocoa House? Cocoa House
It's
had the
moribund. That's the way they call it.
Thank you. I didn't know English like that. So, but what has become of? Look at the Niger Delta. So much oil, so much money that has been generated from oil, a major contributor to our GDP. But what has been, what impact would you say the Niger Delta communities have achieved from this? Right.
So fortunate.
Beyond the occasional excavers or some forecados or some of those Bonny Island where companies like Shell probably generates power supply for them, but all these things you need to be able to measure it better. Why are we still importing the refined products of fuel?
I think
It's actually costing us $28 billion every year.
Exactly. So I think I get your
on the part of the companies. Is there an incentive for them to establish here?
True.
They would rather come and exploit than go. And trust me, you can call them wicked all you want, but that's the human tendency.
And
Put yourself in their shoes.
the African community is like a consuming one.
Yeah.
We don't produce, right?
Stuff like this can actually help us
So
produce.
most of the time, it's not even somebody doesn't have to come from outside the country to come and mine this. We have graduates. That
You didn't have the capacity to do that.
That's what I'm trying to say. If there were like opportunities for them to learn, that is why you do CWES, that is why you have to do training programs so that you can learn these things.
There's the learning part, but there's also the economic environment. We have a company that is producing electric vehicles, Jet. But if you should coach the managing director of Jet right now, start talking about all the problems he faced to do the little ones he's doing right now, you will see all the issues. Then you want to now add mining on top. So
unfortunate. So unfortunate.
the situation is hopeless, and I think Bolu will be publishing an article on this, right?
Yes.
That it's more robust and detailed. So let us see all these concerns, right? Is there a solution? Are there things experts can suggest that could work? Of course, we can suggest them and put it on record and hope that the next dispensation does things to work on this, because this dispensation is basically over. There's nothing they want to do again. No, even if they want to, no time. but I don't think they even want to, right? But
It's not me that said it.
it's me. They should come and- wait. Hope they don't know my house. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing that
What's that?
indicates
That
our
point?
address.
Yeah, the camera is everywhere lately. You know, see.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I'm rooting for you guys. If you say you can do it, you can do it. Come on, let's just. I mean, guys, you're listening to me, and you're an African living in Africa or in the diaspora, and you're seeing all these issues. Let us know what you think. It feels like if we should continue this conversation, we're going to enter the whole new colonialism issue all over again, and we're not going to live here. But let us know what you think about this particular issue about mineral exploitation. Do you think Tesla should establish a company in Nigeria to start manufacturing batteries? And if they should, what should the Nigerian government do to incentivize them and not exploit them? Because everybody exploits everybody in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Then, of course, let us know what you think about the Lagos State Safety Audit. Do you think it's an interesting proposition, or do you think they should change their focus elsewhere for now before they come back to co-working spaces? And of course, the Nigerian investors suing Kenyan, the Kenya Revenue Authority. That's an interesting one to also look at. And please look out for Tuesday's episode. It's a very, very important one. We've been talking about customer service. All those fintechs, all those banks that are always giving you a headache, and you come to Twitter to drag them. We're going to be addressing all those things on Tuesday. We have a very, very important interview. Please look out for the interview, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Trust me. Have I disappointed you before? But I'm not. So, yeah, and for the OGs, not before we get to the OGs, you can find us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And the OGs can find us on
Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and anywhere else you get your podcast.
Final words, Nifemi.
I know, you guys to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
Avoid construction sites. All right, see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.